Hey everybody, welcome back to the wood shop. Today we're going to be making another simple little project, and you can make this out of some scraps you got left over from other stuff you've made.
That's right. This is exactly what he was saying. This is scrap material. We've got some 1-inch material here, some pine, a couple different sizes of dowel. Today we're going to be making a tabletop laptop stand. The first thing we're going to do is take our 1-inch material and cut 2 10-inch boards.
Now, one of the main reasons you would put your laptop on a stand like this on top of a desk is to keep it from overheating. But there is another advantage to this as well, and that is so you could slant your laptop slightly toward you. It makes it easier to type. Now, we've got this marked out. In the front, it's going to be 1.5 inches. In the back, it will raise up to 2 inches. Now, I'm going to have to cut these angles on the table saw, so I'm going to make a handy homemade tapering jig. You do that with some duct tape and a piece of good straight wood. You mark your line out and you tape that on there and you rip it with the fence. Okay, those didn't turn out exactly the same, so now I have them taped together. I'm going to try to run them through at the same time and get them to match. Well, that took a little bit of extra work, not too bad. But one of these days, I will make a tapering jig so I don't have to tape it down to a piece of wood like that. Now, the next step in this process, we are going to drill holes in these 2 pieces that we just cut. That way, the dowels can run from one side to the other. These holes will be 3/4 of an inch, the size of the dowels. Now, while we're over here at the drill press, we're going to go ahead and drill the last 2 holes in these. That'll be 1 for each side piece. It'll be 3/8 of an inch. It'll go right there at the front side of each one, and that will keep your laptop from sliding forward.
Alright, before we put this laptop stand together, I'm just going to sand these pieces a little bit, smooth them up. Makes it easier than doing it afterward.
Now we've got all of our pieces cut and sanded, it's time to glue this thing together.
That's right. And off camera, we did cut this small dowel to 1 1/8 inch each. All right, we have let our stand sit up and dry. That glue is nice and dry now. So the last thing we're going to do is apply a coat of stain to this. And we have Minwax wood finish. This is penetrating stain in the color Weathered Oak.
ourselves a laptop stand. Now, this particular one, we started at 1.5 inches at the small end. We come up to 2 inches at the back. If I had that to do over, I would probably steepen that angle just a little bit. It's a little bit more shallow than I thought it was going to be. It's somewhere between maybe 5 and 7 degrees, I guess, but it probably needs to be just a little bit steeper. And I never mentioned this before, but the dowel positions, they are 3/4 of an inch up to the center from the bottom and 2 inches in from each end. And the center of these is just 1/2 inch in from the end and center of the board. But yeah, probably with your camera view here, you probably can't even tell there's an angle really, but there is somewhat of an angle. It just needs to be a little bit steeper. But there's what it looks like with a laptop on it.
It would definitely suit the main purpose, like Bryan said earlier, giving some ventilation underneath the laptop and propping it up a little bit.
But for more ease of use, if you make one yourself, I would recommend starting at 1.5 inches in the front and coming up probably to 2.5 in the back.
Another thing about this particular laptop stand is we did construct it out of pine, just some pine scraps we had laying around, and we tried to play with the stain a little bit. Pine is not my favorite thing to stain. Probably the best thing we've ever used to stain pine is Polyshades in Mission Oak. That turns out beautiful every single time. I've never had bad results. This just kind of looks like weathered, like it's been sitting outside. Also, the dowels that we used, those are poplar and they vary in their shade. So like this one had more of a green tint and this one was whiter, so it picked up the shade a little bit better out of the stain. So yeah, as far as the finish goes, not super excited about it, but you live and you learn. And you can definitely make this out of different wood. You know, we used pine, whatever you have on hand, feel free to use it.
Also, feel free to give us a big old thumbs up on this video, subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on all of our content.
As always, we thank you for watching. Happy woodworking.